All right, Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praises and all glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Kodash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who grew well and taught us this truth. They are the true teachers for the nation of Israel on earth today. And salutation to the Akim out there pushing this truth and sincerity throughout the four corners of the earth and risking their life for Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai's sake. Our brother Samak from the GMS Miami camp. And yes, I want to talk about an article I came across today from the New York Post, because it reminded me of a scripture in Revelation 12. I'm going to read the headline from the New York Post. It says, UFO witnesses reported seeing 4-foot-tall crewmen wearing spacesuits and helmets, files reveal. Right, and they're saying that these so-called files go back to October of 1966, all right? And it inspired me to do a lesson because it reminded me of Revelation chapter 12, verse 9. And it says, and the great dragon was cast out, that old serpent called the devil and Satan, which deceiveth the whole world. He was cast out into the earth, and his angels were cast out with him. Right. Okay, so this confirms who that old serpent, which is called the devil and Satan, all right, that deceiveth the whole world. Who is this talking about? Esau, Edom, the so-called white man, all right? He goes all the way back to the garden, okay? He was that serpent that beguiled, okay, Eve and then Adam, okay? Well, really it was Eve. You know, she was the one, because she was the weaker vessel, all right, to partake of the tree of good and evil, okay? Which didn't make her a god, all right? She, through her, we all die, okay? Because because a god doesn't die, all right? So, in fact, let me get that scripture, all right? Just to prove that, it says, through Eve we all die, all right? And again, Eve was beguiled by the serpent, which is the so-called white man, Esau, Edom. So Eve, I know it's in the New Testament. Through her we all die. Bear me one moment. I'm using Wi-Fi. I'm in this hotel and their Wi-Fi is pretty trash. All right. And I'm going to go back to this article, all right, because well, it proves that, you know, Esau is just sloppy, but you know, a lot of people are going to fall for his deception. Spare me one moment. All right, let me do it this way. Why isn't it? I don't know if I'm spelling it right or I'm not hitting the key words. Oh, it's in. That's why, because it's in the Apocrypha. Sirach chapter 25, verse 24. Okay. That's, and the King James Online Bible is up and running, brothers. I guess they fixed the hack, wherever. Because I guess they got hacked or something. Bear me one moment. What's going on here? There we go. All right, so Sirach chapter 24, Sirach chapter 25, verse 24. Of the woman came the beginning of sin, and through her we all die, right? So that's in the Apocrypha, okay? So, okay, and again, so Eve was beguiled by the serpent, okay? The serpent is a man, all right? And it's Esau, Edom, the so-called white man. All right. Revelation, what I just read in Revelation 12 confirms that. Okay. And again, he's been beguiling, okay, the people right since the garden. Okay. He's been beguiling the earth. So there's nothing new under the sun. He's been deceiving the whole earth since the beginning. So when you come across articles like this, you have to understand that, let me get it again. You have to understand that he's just straight up lying, okay? And that don't fall for this. So let me read this headline one more time. UFO witnesses reported seeing 4-foot-tall crewmen wearing spacesuits and helmets, files reveal. Mysterious sightings of 3 to 4 foot tall beings decked out in spacesuits and helmets were reported by witnesses decades ago, newly released Pentagon files reveal. See, you know, decades and decades ago, if you were to talk about just UFOs, right, so-called UFOs, or now what they call them UAPs, right, unidentified aerial phenomenons, all right, you were considered a crackpot, a tinfoil hat conspiracy theorist, all right. People would mock you, all right. And then of course Esau, through his Hollywood, all right, he always, all right, mocked and created nothing but confusion, all right, to the masses. But all of a sudden now the chariots are real, and now there's 4-foot beings operating them, okay? Which the point is that, look, the vehicles are real, but it ain't no 4-foot beings, all right? These are the angels, okay? All right, they have stature, they're mighty, okay? And they're so-called black, all right? Okay? And that's why you can't be deceived, okay, by this devil. You got to be sober, all right? Because people are going to get caught up with this man. It's just because the Pentagon said it, which is, this is BS, okay? So let me read this one more time about the old serpent. Revelation chapter 12, verse 9, and the great dragon was cast out. That old serpent, right, going back to the garden, called the devil, meaning deceiver, and Satan, meaning adversary, which deceiveth the whole world. He was cast out into the earth, and his angels were cast out with him, right? Because, again, right, the Lord's going to remove this man from power, okay? All right? His lies can only go so much, okay, so far, or go so much throughout the earth, all right? Eventually, the Lord is going to, okay, cut him off, all right? He only has a certain amount of time to rule, all right? And the fact that he's doing all this, okay, just proves that, okay, he's getting desperate, all right? So now he's throwing out all these crazy propaganda, all right, and BS slander, really, okay, towards the angels, all right? Because he's the scriptures say in Revelation 13 that that he would blaspheme the heavens, right? Revelation 13. Let me get this. I'm gonna read Revelation 13:1 for context, and I'm gonna jump down to verse 6. So in Revelation 13:1 it says, and I stood up upon the sand of the sea and saw a beast rise up out of the sea. Now the sea represents people, and this beast, okay, that's why you have a term called mark of the beast. This beast is operated and ran by the biblical Edomites, all right, the so-called white people, all right. This beast, okay, came out of the fourth beast, which is the fourth beast is Rome, ancient Rome, all right, that that dragon, okay, or that old dragon, as it says in Revelation 12. Let me just make sure I quoted that correctly. the great dragon, excuse me, not that old dragon. No, yeah. The great dragon, the old serpent, which goes back to the garden, okay? So the great dragon, okay? Just want to get that correct. And it goes on and says, all right, so this beast system, this, okay, is what you clearly see today, okay, which goes back to ancient Rome, okay, who ruled ancient Rome, all right? The biblical Edomites, the so-called white people today. Beasts rise up out of the sea, having 7 heads and 10 horns, and upon his horns 10 crowns, and upon its heads the names of blasphemy. Right, the 7 heads represent the 7 different governments throughout history of Esau, Edom, and the 10 horns represent the European Union, formerly known as the European Economic Community, which came out of the 4th beast. Okay, all right. If you want to Google what 10 nations that came out of Rome, all right, you know what? I'll get it for edification, okay? Because again, these are the same people coming back, all right? And all they did was lie and deceive. Even when they were the Romans, they were lying and deceiving. 10 nations that came out of Rome. And let me do it this way. Yep. So following the collapse of the Western Roman Empire, 35-1 to 47-76 AD, 10 barbarian tribes, including the Visigoths, sacked Rome and established kingdoms that evolved into modern European nations. These include the Visigoths, Franks, Anglo-Saxons, Ostrogoths, Vandals, Suevi, Burgundians, Heruli, Lombards, and Alemanni. Right, okay? So these are these 10 nations that came out of Rome, all right, which make up the modern, okay, European Union, okay? And that's the 10 horns, okay? All right? So these are the same people, and that's why John the Revelator wrote it the way he wrote it, all right, to give us, all right, the understanding of who's ruling today, all right, and who's going to be lying and deceiving, okay? That great dragon, all right, that old serpent, right? And upon his heads, the names of blasphemy. So jumping down to 6 to get to the point. And he opened his mouth in blasphemy against God, right? Now they got this AI, right? Okay. Money, you know, they push it out that money is their God and pushing onto everybody. To blaspheme his name. Oh, yeah, the name. You people to this day still call on God. All right, that's just a title. That's not his, all right, his true name. Okay, all right. His son's name. All right, they call on Jesus. That's not his name. All right. Okay, he was a Hebrew. He had a Hebrew name. And his tabernacle, and them. And here's the point. His tabernacle represents the children of Israel. And then right here, and them that dwell in heaven, right? Talking about the angels. So this is straight up blasphemy, saying that the angels are 4 foot, all right? Okay? That's straight up blasphemy, okay? And that's why you got to be sober, because this devil, okay, is like a roaring lion, all right? Let me get that. Sober, vigilant. Vigilant, sober, vigilant. There we go. First Peter chapter 5 verse 8. Be sober, be vigilant, because your adversary, the devil, as a roaring lion, walketh about seeking whom he may devour. Right? Okay. And this this propaganda is gonna devour a lot of our people. Our people are gonna get caught up in it. All right. And I've been saying that this devil will hire little midgets, okay? Dress them up in an alien costume, okay? Remember this, all right? Watch Hollywood movies, okay? These Hollywood movies, man, they make these aliens look believable, okay? Look real, all right? So it's easy for them to hire a couple of midgets, okay, who are down to deceive the whole world, all right? Dress them up, okay? Then have some type of mock UFO spaceship, you know, hover down, probably got wires on it, okay? Or they built one, you know, because Esau has technology that these planes can hover. You know, you see it in these warplanes like the F-35. It can hover, okay, in a stationary position and hover up. So they have the technology for vehicles to hover in a stationary position, okay, and hover down or hover up, okay, or move from side to side, okay. So it's easy for them to create a mock UFO that can do that and have these little midgets in there, okay? All right, dressed up like aliens, like it's Halloween, like some costume shit. So you gotta be sober and vigilant. All right. So you know what? That's it. That's all I wanted to bring out. You know, this is the serpent. All right, he's been deceiving since the time in the garden. All right, and he's doing it again. So don't get caught up with this. Okay, don't get caught up with the freaking the Hollywood theater that he's gonna push on his mainstream media, on his propaganda tool. All right, so Lord willing, is less edifying. I want to give all praise and all glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Kodash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who rule well and taught us this truth. They are the true teachers for the nation of Israel on earth today. And salutation to the Akim out there pushing this truth and sincerity throughout the four corners of the earth and risking their life for Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai's sake. Love you, brothers. Keep enduring, keep the faith, keep pushing, keep fighting, keep studying. Pray without ceasing. Pray for each other. Pray for the apostle elders. We're almost out of here. To the futures that are watching, keep studying. When you pray, pray to the cover. Shalom.